Ultamize. One of the most dangerous goals you can have is a goal that feels like yours, but was actually handed to you, not forced on you, not shouted at you, not delivered by some villain in a dark cape saying, "Here is your life plan." Usually it's much more subtle than that. It comes from your family, your profession, your school, your clients, your colleagues, your culture, your industry. It comes from people you admire, the people you secretly want to impress. And after a while, the goal feels internal to you. It feels personal. It feels obvious. Of course, I want that promotion. Of course, I want that credential. Of course, I want that office. Of course, I want that revenue number. Of course, I want to be seen as the person who's always busy, always needed, always impressive, always in demand. But do you really? That's the question most people don't stop to ask. Inherited goals are tricky because they often come wrapped in respectability. Nobody mocks you for wanting to be promoted. Nobody says, "How dare you want a bigger business?" Nobody says, "Shame on you for wanting a more impressive title." Those are socially approved goals. They sound mature, responsible. They sound ambitious. They sound like something you should want. And that's exactly why they need to be examined. A bad goal isn't always reckless. Sometimes the bad goal is the one everyone applauds. This is where smart professionals get trapped. They don't chase obviously foolish things. They chase things that look sensible. They chase the next rung on the ladder because the rung is there. They chase the next level of visibility because visibility seems useful. They chase the next certification because it sounds like credibility. They chase the next client category because someone told them that's how serious people play the game. But the fact that a goal is respectable doesn't mean it's right for you. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine someone becomes a lawyer because everyone around them always said, "You'd make a great lawyer." They're articulate, they're analytical, they did well in school, their family's proud, their friends are impressed, the career path has status. So they move forward year after year, step after step, and maybe they become quite good at it. But deep down, what they actually love is building things, teaching, performing, starting projects, creating systems, being with people in a very different way. Now, is law necessarily a bad profession? Of course not. The world does need lawyers. I like lawyers. The problem isn't the profession. The problem is that the person never separated ability from desire. Just because you can do something well doesn't mean it should become the central goal of your life. That sentence is worth sitting with. Just because you can do something well doesn't mean it should become the central goal of your life. Other people often spot your abilities before they understand your values. They may see that you're organized, so they push you toward management. They may see that you're persuasive, so they push you toward sales. They may see that you're calm under pressure, so they push you toward more responsibility. They may see that you're good on camera, so they tell you to build a giant public brand. And okay, maybe they're right, or maybe they're only seeing one piece of you. Goal setting requires you to ask, did I choose this because it fits my deepest priorities? Or did I choose this because it fits someone else's convenient story about me? That's a hard question because sometimes the inherited goal has been with you so long, it feels like identity. I'm the achiever. I'm the responsible one. I'm the one who never disappoints people. I'm the one who always says yes. Of course, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm the one who figures it out. I'm the one who carries the whole thing. Those identities can produce success, but they can also produce exhaustion. And exhaustion becomes very confusing when everyone calls it achievement. So here's the practical test. Take one major goal you currently have and ask, who exactly benefits if I achieve this? Not in a cynical way, just honestly. Do I benefit? Does my family benefit? Do my clients benefit? Does my employer benefit? Does my ego benefit? Does my old fear of disappointing people benefit? Does my desire to look impressive benefit? Does a younger version of me benefit, even though present day me no longer wants the same thing? That question, that question can reveal a lot because some goals aren't really goals. They're just old loyalty contracts. They're attempts to keep being the person other people praised years ago. They're efforts to win approval from people who may not even be paying attention anymore. That's a strange thing, isn't it? You could spend years chasing approval from an imaginary audience, a committee in your head. Maybe it's your father from 1987 or a former boss, a classmate you haven't seen in 20 years, some vague group called successful people. And this imaginary committee never meets, it never sends minutes, it never votes, but somehow it runs your calendar. This is inherited goal setting. Strategic goal setting means you fire the imaginary committee politely. There's no need for drama, just a clean internal memo. Thank you for your input. I'll be making the decisions now. The goal is not to reject everything you inherited. Some inherited goals are wonderful. Your parents may have taught you to value education. That's great. A mentor may have taught you to value excellence. Excellent. A profession may have taught you standards, discipline, and service. Keep that. This is not rebellion for the sake of rebellion. That's just another inherited script, usually from someone wearing a leather jacket in a movie. The point's not to reject outside influence. The point is to review it. Keep what fits. Revise what's outdated. Release what was never yours in the first place. A mature goal is not one that comes from nowhere. Nobody invents themselves out of thin air. A mature goal is one you have consciously approved. You may have received the raw material from your family, your teachers, your culture, your work, your clients, your heroes, your mistakes, and your past. That's fine. But at some point, you have to stop being merely the warehouse for other people's expectations. You have to become the editor. That's the work. Look at the goal. Question the source. Examine the trade offs. Ask whether it still fits. Ask whether it serves the life you're actually trying to design right now, not the life your parents imagined, not the life your industry rewards, not the life your social circle understands, not the life that photographs well for Instagram and Facebook, but the life you're actually willing to live. Because one of the greatest signs of adulthood is not having bigger goals, it's having more consciously chosen goals. That's the escape from the inherited success trap. You don't have to chase every goal that looks impressive. You don't have to obey every ambition that was handed to you. You don't have to keep climbing just because someone else pointed at the ladder. You get to ask, did I choose this? And if the honest answer is no, that doesn't mean you failed. It means the real goal setting process has finally begun.